Hi, you guys, and welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I'm the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today is show and tell number 14. 14. So last week I had a cold, cleared the cold, felt fine. Wednesday, Thursday-ish. By Friday, I was starting to feel pretty bad. Couldn't breathe. Every time I would move across the house, I was getting more and more breathless. And yesterday I finally went to the doctor, and I have an upper respiratory infection and a sinus infection. So if I start coughing, if I start panting randomly, I apologize in advance. I do have a fresh cup of tea with me. The funny thing is like, I feel bad because I physically feel bad, not because I feel sick, if that makes sense. I'm not running a fever. My temperature actually keeps dropping down to like 96.7. It's been really weird. It's the last of my Pucka 3 ginger tea. I'm kind of glad I can go back to a spicier ginger. If you don't like hot ginger, like that's fine, but I like really when I'm sick in particular, I like impactful ginger tea. So yeah, I got a lot of time to like sit and crochet the last couple weeks. I started feeling bad about the same time I was filming, not my last show and tell video, but the one before that. So, I mean, I was sick with a cold for over a week, and then, yeah. So, over the weekend I did some crocheting, and I got quite a few things I'll be able to enter in. Hannah over at the Cozy Crochet Cottage, her Use Your Stash Cal. I've got quite a few things I'll be able to enter in that now. So let's get on with the finished objects. So one of them, actually, 4 of my finished objects will actually be shown again in reviews of other products. One I'm going to try to film today if I have enough energy. If not, it'll probably be next week before I sit down and film again. But this is one. This is the Gorin roll I've been working on using the Hobium cake yarn. Big, 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 big. If I lived in a colder climate, this would be amazing. It's 25% wool, 75%, or it's 20%, 80. I can't remember. If you've used Caron cakes before, I would say it's identical. I would definitely say go for it if there's a colorway you like. But it's kind of a sampler. It's only got 3 different stitches you're doing. So if you're new to knitting and you just want a project where you can sit there and practice, I would highly recommend this. As always, sorry, it's later in the afternoon again, so I've got the weird lighting again. Is the Gorin roll by Michael Fraser. So you got a garter stitch, a texture row, which, I mean, all these are, like I said, super basic stitch. Not garter, that's stockinette. A garter ridge stockinette, and then a basic mesh lace. And I have not blocked this yet. I'll try to block it before I do my Hobium yarns review. But you can see how wide that, I mean, once again, I'm not overly petite. I mean, that literally I could have, and it does, I did not do this because I was sitting up in my bedroom, and when I started this was like my nighttime waiting to go to bed project. It's supposed to have an I-cord edge to it. I did not do that. I just left it as knit every stitch for the edge. So if you wonder why my edge is different, if you decide to pick up the project, it is supposed to be an I-cord edge. So it's another element that makes it a great beginner's project, because that's a important stitch to know. For some reason, I couldn't get it to work on the needles I was using, so I just said forget about it and went with the garter stitch. And you do have, it has you do a provisional cast on. You don't have to, you can sew your ends together. But if you've never done a provisional cast on and then, like Kitchener stitch or anything like that to seam two pieces together, like the toes on a sock or something, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. There are quite a few different tutorial videos out there for how to do provisional cast on. There's a crocheted provisional cast on where you use a chain stitch. There are provisional cast ons where you essentially make a tube around a crochet hook. There are lots of different ways to do a provisional cast on. So I would highly recommend giving this a shot, especially if you're new to knitting. But I did enjoy the yarn. It was wonderful, easy to work with, just like Caron cake. So if you were wondering about the Hobium cakes, thumbs up. I mean, this is the second yarn I've used from them now. The first one was the baby pastel. So I highly recommend it if you were curious. Let's see. I made a basic hat out of some of the leftover hopscotch. I did share this one on Instagram already. So leftovers that I had from doing my the hooded cowl that I did. And you see more with the knitting just how pretty and neat this yarn is. Ooh. Yeah, that's not out of focus really. That's just how the yarn looks. I really like it. This was very soft to work with. It does have quite a few knots, but I'm noticing that a lot of the big box yarns, I don't know if they're trying to save money, and I don't know what the deal is, but I'm getting a lot of knots in a lot of the yarns I'm getting. In the final review for the hopscotch, I think I'll have it written down how many in the total. I had 3 balls. I've used 2.5 of them now. I'll be reviewing this with the gumdrop, I think. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of knots. I mean, it seems like there were 4 in the 3 balls. And I mean, I've gone, balls and balls of yarn without having a knot before. And I don't know if I'm just having bad luck recently or if it's production quality has gone down that much. I'm seeing more where people are finding mini skeins of different yarns inside their balls instead of those being taken off and put in as mill-ins somewhere. My throat's already drying out. Fun. This is the Slouchy Cable Hat by Melody Rogers. If you don't subscribe, there's a link below to the pattern on her website, but she has a mailing list where she sends out a lot of different things. I would highly suggest signing up for that if you enjoy getting craft patterns and crafty commentary, crochet commentary in your inbox. And she also has a number of her patterns that are knit pattern and crochet pattern. So, but this is a crocheted cable hat. I'm not sure why my cables aren't popping more. This one looks like it's completely gone, but I think it's a combination of the color and the texture to this yarn. It does have a lot of texture. And this is a very big hat. And you can bring the brim up even more if you want to. You can, if you've got fuller hair than I have, you can pull it out even more. But this will probably be gifted or donated. I'm not sure yet. I need to find a group who takes things that are made out of wool This yarn is the Red Heart Italian Story Vera. That's my little leftover scrap there. And it's 70% wool, 30% alpaca. Ooh, love that static. So I really enjoyed the pattern, and I really enjoyed the yarn. This was a very easy day project. It took a ball and a half of the Vera. That's, like I said, this is my leftovers from doing it, and I had two little balls of it. So yeah, very snuggly, very plushy, very warm. If you wear your hair up a lot and still want to wear a hat, this would be a great pattern. There are directions for making the hat less slouchy too. So, those 2 hats. So, if y'all remember in my last show and tell video, I showed y'all the dishcloth with the yarn overs that's similar to the Grandma's Favorite dishcloth. This is a different variation on that same style dishcloth, except you have more knit stitches here. And even though the size of the yarn overs looks different when you first cast it off, you will actually notice, if you pull them open, that they're about the same size. I can't get a equal angle on that. So just by adding the stitches here, the nature of doing the knit 2 together does change the shape of the yarn over. There are other ways to do this, but definitely turned out nicer than the one from last time. I actually already took that one downstairs, so I can't show you the side-by-side on that one, but go back and watch number 13. Tell me what you think. I am doing the Unraveled Mittens Stash Busting Cowl. Years ago, I bought this color blue. There's like a sagey green, a butter yellow, and a warm brown. It's Red Heart Super Saver. I think this is country blue. The brown is warm brown. But yeah, I bought them to do a smaller blanket, and all 4 colors are still being produced. So I decided to take those and make this blanket. I was actually going to do a different sampler style blanket. This is the Herringbone half double. I have to say, I actually kind of think I like this overall. Wow, I got really orange. Takes a phone a long time to adjust, doesn't it? I may actually like this more than doing a half double crochet. I did, quick side note, if you're not familiar with foundation stitches instead of doing the chain and then stitching in, I don't know why half doubles, starting that first row of half doubles always kills me. I think it's because you don't have anything to hold as you're doing the stitch, but pulling through the 3 loops. But I would highly recommend trying the foundation stitches. It takes a little while to get a hang of where you put your hook and how to do the stitch and keeping your chain even. But you have a bottom edge that doesn't get too tight and is just as flexible and stretchy as your top edge. And you wouldn't think that's a big deal while making blankets, but when you go to ensure all your squares are the same size, having that same amount of flexibility all the way around your squares really does help a lot. So I would consider giving that a shot if you haven't done that yet. It's not too hard for a beginner to learn or beginner to use. And I know a lot of people who've been crocheting for a really long time who don't use that stitch. I'm only just now getting to where I'm willing to branch out from what I'm used to doing. I didn't really see a purpose to it until I started doing more garments, crochet garments. And like if you're starting a sleeve from up here, having that flexibility to ease a sleeve in is actually kind of nice. But I'm finding it's actually useful in blankets too. And last but not least, with my finished objects, So I am trying to, once again, keep my videos under half an hour. The less I'm talking, the better for my chest right now, too. I have my virus shawl. So I used 2 3/4 balls of the Italian Story Luce. I think I'm gonna make another virus shawl. I have a lady in my new Bible study who was joking about wanting a shawl, but she was also joking about having a good old-fashioned Irish name. And I've got some really pretty green yarn I've been holding on to, so I think I might make another virus, or I might do Krista's new shawl that she just used the Ice Magic DK with. Yeah, it's very pretty. It's very itchy still, though. I don't think it's very high quality merino in this yarn. It's very short fibers. It fluffs everywhere. Not nearly as bad as a cat, though. I will at least say that. Pippin sheds more than this is. But it is very itchy. I'm gonna soak it for the natural wool in it. And I will also steam block it because it's mostly synthetic fibers. The fiber content is 46% nylon, 28% acrylic, 20% mohair, and 6% polyester. So I'm going to soak it to try to make the mohair less itchy. But I'm also going to steam block it to get the shawl, to lay very nicely, because even like my point kind of looks a little wonky down there. I did end with the double crochet round instead of the lace edge. I considered coming back and doing a picot actually on it, but that would have been too much for me to block out. The yarn is so fuzzy, I really didn't want to have the lacy edge on it, if that makes sense. Like, the yarn is really kind of what I wanted to show off with this, and I wanted a nice stitch pattern to show off the yarn. But you can see all the little sequins in there. Like I said, one of the best parts about this yarn, I don't know how many of y'all have worked with sequin yarns before, but a lot of them are very hard to frog. This was very easy to frog. So I'll do the 2 Red Heart Italian Stories. I'm either going to film that review directly after this or after dinner tonight. I'm not sure which yet. But I am doing a review on these 2 yarns together. And both of them have pros and cons. They are very expensive for what you're getting, though. I will say that. But, I mean, it is a very beautiful finished object with this one. It is a little itchy, though. It does need to be, I think it needs some soak, but you can, it's not just the halo on it. You can see that these are fairly short natural fibers. So I don't think it's very high quality. Was it mohair? Yeah, mohair. And that's kind of what's making it a little prickly. But we'll see. The yarn itself, like the nylon content in it, really does make a huge difference. So I am kind of excited about that. But yeah, so I was going to do a break in between and show you my knit crate, but I left that downstairs. I got the blush color with mine, so look at any of the other videos or what you got yourself and you'll know what I got. I probably will not do either of the patterns with that one. I don't live in a climate where a muff would even remotely be appropriate for the crochet pattern. And I just did this cowl with last month, so I really didn't want to do another cowl, even though I really like the other cowl better. I have a stack of stuff still here that I need to take pictures and update my Ravelry pages with, but So I will probably come up with another pattern to do with that. I just, not my cup of tea. Let's see, whips. I only brought 2 whips up here to show you. Last night I started on this. This will be another basket. This is using my scrap yarn, and I mentioned this is the, I'm not following Jada's pattern, but I'm following her idea. But Jada and Stitches took 3 balls of variegated yarn and made a basket. I'm actually using my scrap yarns. I'm holding 1 dark brown, 1 light brown, and 1 white together. See if I can get that to... My camera doesn't know what to make of that. So I've just kind of got some tossed in here. I might have to break into one of my other balls of dark brown up there, because I thought I had more, but apparently it's mostly black. So I might have to do one that's maybe white, black, and red, or white, black, and pink, maybe. Or white, black, and gray might not be bad. Though I'm running low on gray scraps as well. Kind of ran out of those last year and had to actually buy gray yarn to finish a lot of my men's projects. But sorry, I had to slide y'all around there. But yeah, so I've got a lot of white scraps and a lot of black scraps in that bin still. But I don't have, I mean, I've really, even my neutrals basket, apparently I've really worked that down substantially over the last, or over 2018. So I don't have even as much of that as I thought I did. And looking up at my little red heart section there, I've got a partial ball of tan. And it looks like a partial ball of chocolate, or coffee, I think is what Red Heart calls it. So I don't even know if I'll have enough to finish it, but I don't know. We'll see where we end up. But I'm going to do, I love how I just slide y'all around and act like that's normal. I'll probably go out, I'll do this round, which will make it my, so I'll probably do 2 more rounds before I start going up the side. And I'll just add in as I go. And the only other whip I wanted to show you guys is my Christmas Day cast on. I've got, if you've been joining the Zoom conference call chat that Melanie over at Stitch to My Lou is doing, I'm really bad at name to channel. I think of her as Melanie. Remembering her channel name is the problem. There are other people where I can remember their channel name, but remembering their real name is hard. So, but when I'm not working on the diamond painting I've been working on this, and I took it with me to like Bible study and stuff like that. It's just all knit stitches, but I'm using the candy shop yarn that I got in my Premier mystery bags. Apparently I started a row that I didn't finish yesterday. Oh, it's when I was at the doctor's office. But it's got it's supposed to be done in 3 colors. I'm just doing it in 1 because I wanted the shape. It's called like the tricolor scarf or something like that. I'll try to remember to put it in the description box before this goes live. I've already set up my links, so if I forget and you want it, just remind me. Or you can go to my Ravelry. It's listed in my projects on Ravelry. I don't know if I have a picture of it yet or not. But it's going to take most of 2 cakes to complete the scarf. And then I think I'm going to do a barley hat with the 3rd one to match. But the color on this one is dark chocolate. Oops. Sorry, Pippin. He decided to run up and stand on me and I smacked him in the head. That's Candy Shop by Premier. I'm using my zings that my husband got me for Christmas. And the project is still in my bag that my husband got me for Christmas. And I really didn't just talk about this too much. This is from Liam Loves You. And of course, I couldn't turn down the Fair Isle Llamas, but she also included some Progress Keeper stitch markers. I can pull them out of the plastic so you can actually see them. Wow, what a novel idea. So I'm very excited. I'm enjoying this project very much. Very easy. I'm really liking the candy shop. I kind of wish they'd put that on sale for the $3.99 again. Not that I need any more yarn right now. I've got plenty. 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 Aside from the knit crate, I still haven't purchased anything. I'm doing really well. I've got my I want them done now projects, and I've got a huge stack and list of those. And I'm trying to figure out what I don't want to do a calendar blanket necessarily, but yeah, like Terry from Yarn Joy did the repeat Crafter Me Christmas blanket, and she broke it out into months. I kind of wouldn't mind having another blanket project to go with the Unraveled Mitten project, but I'm not even sure what yarn I would use for that. So I'm kind of torn. I have some Red Heart Chunky or Red Heart Bulky, and I was thinking about maybe doing something with that. I don't know. Excuse me. I also have some other wools that are, I don't want to say bad quality, but they're rustic feeling, even though they look really nice. And I've still got to decide what I want to do with those. If I want to do another felted project, I've got a couple of different knit felting patterns that I can play with. One of my first purchases, I think, is going to have to be some more of this Peyton's Roving, so I can do 2 cat beds for the cats. They are still trying to sleep in my bucket. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 27 minutes. I didn't go on a tangent so much today. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to share with you guys today. I will be hopefully starting the Jimmy Bean project this week so I can get month 1 done. Yeah. I did get a couple of my whips done that were hanging on the wall. I need to go through and do another count. I also need to frog. I know I have at least one shawl over there that needs to be frogged. And then I have a couple of things that, like my socks, my Christmas socks are still sitting there. Once I turn the heel, I don't have to think on them again for another couple of inches. So, and like my sock head beanie cowl, I've got quite a few projects that are very mindless knit and crochet projects that I really need to get back to and just get them finished up so I can start on the next thing. I have a huge stack of Knit Pick sock yarn that I'm dying to use. I did get one of their, actually I got 2 of their sock treasury books. So I kind of want to work on some more socks. But yeah, so I will catch you guys next week. I think I'm gonna make another cup of tea and I'll sit down to film the Red Heart Italian Story review for the 2 I used. And I will see you guys real soon. Bye.